Hey everyone! Ready for a deep dive into something you probably haven't thought too much about? Santa's suit.
It's true. That red suit.
It's more than just a fashion statement.
It's a whole journey through history and culture.
Yeah, and to really understand it, we've got some great sources.
Absolutely.
We've been looking at articles from CNN, The Guardian, the Children's Museum of Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
Even some insights from Quora.
Yeah, those are always interesting.
And of course, we have to address the big question.
The elephant in the room.
Did Coca-Cola actually invent Santa's red suit?
Well, it's funny because so many people think they did.
Right?
But the truth is a little more complicated and way more interesting.
So before we get to the Coca-Cola connection, let's rewind way back.
Okay.
Before Santa, we had a whole bunch of gift-giving figures around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Think St. Nicholas, Santa Claus,
Père Noël.
Christkimmel.
Exactly. So, Santa had a whole family tree of predecessors.
And each one had their own look, their own backstory.
Right. And some were more saintly.
St. Nicholas?
Yeah. Often shown in those traditional bishop garments.
Which were...
And this is interesting.
Ooh.
Red and white.
So the connection between red and gift-giving...
Goes way back.
It wasn't just some marketing scheme.
Yep.
And when we look at Santa in America...
Okay.
In the 1800s... His look was all over the place.
He was a real fashion chameleon.
Totally. It's like he was trying on different identities.
And that makes sense because Christmas itself was still evolving back then.
Right. It wasn't the holiday we know today.
Exactly.
So tell me about some of these early Santa looks.
Oh, there are some wild ones. I mean, we see him in a yellow suit in 1864.
Yellow.
Yellow. And then there's this 1837 oil painting where he's got a fur-lined red cape.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
And get this.
What?
There's even an ad from the Revolutionary War era by P.T. Barnum.
Wow.
With a beardless Santa.
No beard.
It makes you wonder.
Why so many different looks?
Well, America was still a young country back then.
Right.
Figuring out its own identity.
And that included?
How they envisioned Santa Claus.
So in all this visual chaos...
Here comes Thomas Nast.
The political cartoonist.
A true visual storyteller.
His work really shaped how people saw Santa.
Oh, absolutely. He had a huge impact.
And he wasn't the first to put Santa in red.
Right.
He created that's closest to what we know today.
I think his images resonated because they were so detailed.
Yeah, okay.
They reflected the mood of the time.
Like during the Civil War.
He drew Santa in stars and stripes.
Wow.
Super patriotic.
Yeah.
And then in 1881,
he gives us
the iconic Santa.
The one we all recognize.
Jolly buckled red suit.
The whole package?
Pretty much.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even before Nast's famous Santa, companies were already using red-suited Santas in ads.
Like White Rock beverages.
They had a red-suited Santa selling ginger ale in the early 1900s.
Years before those Coca-Cola ads everyone talks about.
So it seems like red
was already becoming the color of a jolly gift giver.
Exactly. Even before Coca-Cola jumped on the bandwagon.
It's fascinating how certain colors just get linked to certain ideas.
Right.
Red was already gaining traction as the color of generosity.
Of Christmas cheer.
Exactly.
So they didn't invent the red suit.
Right.
But they definitely popularized it.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
With their artist.
Haddon Sundblom.
His Santa illustrations.
From the 1930s.
They were everywhere.
And they really solidified that image in everyone's minds.
He was inspired by that Clement Clarke Moore poem.
A Visit from St. Nicholas.
So classic. Why do you think Coca-Cola stuck with red?
Well, they were marketing geniuses.
Okay.
They knew how to tap into what was already popular.
They amplified it.
Exactly. Red was already becoming synonymous with Christmas.
And Sundblom's illustrations just took that association.
And ran with it.
He gave us that plump, cheerful Santa.
The one we all picture.
He just embodies the holiday.
Perfectly.
So Santa's look went from all over the place to this iconic red suit.
Right.
But his wardrobe changed.
It actually mirrors how Christmas itself was changing.
As a holiday.
That's so true.
His image doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Definitely not.
It reflects those bigger changes happening in society.
No, right.
And to understand that connection...
we got to dig into the history of Christmas itself.
Okay, let's do it.
Right.
And that brings us to this book.
The Battle for Christmas.
By Stephen Nissenbaum.
He shed some light.
On how Christmas transformed during that time.
Yeah, because Christmas in the 17th and 18th centuries was a whole different ballgame.
Really?
It was like this raucous month-long party.
A month.
Filled with public revelry.
Sounds kind of fun.
But it could get out of control.
Okay.
Like public intoxication. Even home invasions.
What?
Not exactly the cozy Christmas we picture today.
Wow, that's a big difference.
So how did it go?
Yeah.
From a wild party
To the family-friendly holiday we know.
Well, that's where things get interesting. Nissenbaum argues that the elite in cities like New York, they were concerned about all the chaos.
They wanted to tone it down.
They wanted a Christmas that was more focused.
On what?
On family.
The
spirit of giving.
So basically,
wanted to control Christmas a bit.
Make it more...
Made her even commercialized.
Got it. And Santa Claus.
He became a key part of this transformation.
Exactly. He went from this
potentially threatening figure,
demanding food and drink, this benevolent gift giver,
bringing joy to children.
Right.
And that shift in Santa's persona.
It mirrored the shift in how Christmas was being celebrated.
It's like they remade Santa in the image of their new Christmas.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's amazing how these things are all connected, like threads in a tapestry.
And we're just starting to unravel them.
I can't wait to see where this deep dive takes us next.
Me too. This is already so fascinating.
I know, right? Buckle up. We're going deeper. Haha. All right. So they took this rowdy Christmas and they kind of like...
tamed it.
Yeah. And they gave Santa a makeover to match.
Gave him a suit that fit the new image.
A more controlled celebration.
It's wild how powerful images can be.
Right.
You think about it.
Yeah.
That red suit.
Yeah.
The fur trim, those jolly vibes.
Yes.
It just screams family-friendly Christmas.
Well, it's the suit itself tells the story.
The story of how the holiday changed.
And all of that's connected to even bigger changes happening at the time.
Absolutely.
The Industrial Revolution.
Huge shifts in society.
Economically, socially.
The rise of consumer culture.
That definitely played a role.
And how we celebrate holidays.
Like Christmas.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just about making Christmas more wholesome.
There was a whole economic angle, too.
They were creating a market.
For new products, new traditions.
And Santa, with his sack full of toys...
He became the poster child for consumerism.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
I know, right?
The simple red suit tied to all these huge forces.
Social forces, economic forces.
It's like a thread that connects everything.
It's a reminder that even our traditions, they don't just appear out of nowhere.
It's shaped by so many different things.
By history.
By culture.
By the way the world works.
Okay, so we've seen how Santa went from...
kind of a mysterious figure.
To this jolly gift giver.
In the red suit.
Mirroring the transformation of Christmas itself.
But what does it all mean for us today?
That's a good question.
I think it encourages us to really think
about the symbols we hold dear.
The traditions.
It's easy to just accept them.
At face value.
But when you dig deeper...
like we're doing.
You see how much they reflect our culture.
Our values.
It's like those memes.
How it started versus how it's going.
Exactly. But for Christmas.
It helps us understand our own cultural landscape.
Okay, so let's talk about the color red itself.
Okay.
Coca-Cola didn't invent the red suit.
Nope.
But they made it famous.
They took it mainstream.
What is it about red?
That makes it so perfect for Santa.
That's a good question.
Red is a powerful color.
In what way?
Think about it.
Okay.
Energy.
Passion.
Excitement.
Yeah,
but also warmth.
Yeah.
Love.
Generosity.
And those are all emotions.
We associate with Christmas.
It's true.
All the red we see at Christmas time. Decoration.
Wrapping paper.
Santa hats. Red is everywhere.
It's like red has become the visual language of Christmas.
We can even imagine Santa in any other color.
It'd be like a green Easter bunny.
Exactly. It just wouldn't feel right.
But it's interesting.
Halfly.
In some cultures, Santa wears other colors.
Like in the Netherlands.
Sinterklaas.
Sometimes he's in blue.
Or even purple robes.
So even within the tradition of giving gifts...
there's room for variation.
It shows how traditions change and adapt.
Based on different cultures.
The constant evolution.
This whole deep dive.
It's really eye-opening.
It's made me realize how our ideas about Santa...
about his suit, about Christmas itself...
yeah.
they're shaped by so many things.
It's not just about the holiday.
It's about history, culture...
marketing, psychology.
It's amazing how much is packed into...
one simple suit.
We take it for granted.
But there's a whole story there.
And the story isn't over yet.
That's the best part.
The story of Santa's suit keeps going.
With each new generation.
It makes you wonder.
What will Santa be wearing in the future?
Will it still be the red suit?
Or will we see something new? Something that reflects the changing times?
That's a great question.
Fashion is always evolving.
Maybe we'll see a climate change Santa.
In an eco-friendly suit.
Made from recycled materials.
Or maybe a more inclusive Santa.
Reflecting the diversity of the world.
The possibilities are endless.
It's exciting to think about.
It's a reminder that traditions are fluid.
They change with us.
They adapt to the times.
So what's been the most surprising thing for you?
About Santa's fashion history.
What really stands out?
I think is how Santa's image. It's been used to both shape and reflect society.
That's interesting.
From promoting a controlled Christmas
to embodying generosity and family.
His suit has become a symbol
of how much the holiday has evolved.
It's a reminder that even fashion,
something seemingly superficial,
can have deep meaning.
It can tell us a lot about who we are.
And what we value.
Yeah, it's like we can look at Santa's suit and see how our ideas about Christmas have changed.
How our ideas about family have changed.
Even consumerism.
It's all there.
It makes you think.
What will future generations see?
When they look at Santa.
Will the red suit still mean the same thing?
Or will they interpret it differently?
Based on their own values, their own experiences.
That's a really interesting question.
It is.
What does Santa's suit symbolize to you?
I don't know. It's funny. One image can bring up so many different emotions.
For some people, it's nostalgia.
Childhood memories.
The magic of Christmas.
For others, it might be more complicated. They might think about the commercial side of the holiday.
The pressure to buy gifts.
It's fascinating how one symbol can be so many things to different people.
It really shows you the power of symbolism.
And how our own personal experiences shape how we see the world.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From the very beginnings of Santa.
To the rise of the red suit.
The whole transformation of Christmas.
It's been quite a journey.
Through history, through culture.
Even a bit of psychology.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
I know I have.
It's a reminder that even the most familiar things,
like Santa's suit,
they often have these hidden depths.
These fascinating stories waiting to be uncovered.
And who knows?
Maybe next time you see Santa,
you'll see him a little differently.
With a newfound appreciation for that red suit.
Happy holidays, everyone.
And remember,
no matter what Santa's wearing,
the true spirit of the season is about kindness,
generosity,
and spending time with loved ones.
That's what really matters.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.
Happy holidays.